Hi, and welcome to Off the Beaten Tracks, where we even have meat in our salads.
Hello and welcome again for another episode of Master LP's Theater. I'm here with Grace Bevan, and today we're going to be discussing the band Rainbow.
Oh boy. So this particular album is After the Storm, very appropriate. It came out in 1968 and it is off the Crescendo GNP label. Now, let's get into it. What did you think of it?
Well, there have been, I went online, and there have been some critiques of this album that it's a bit all over the place.
I could see that, yeah.
Yes, and I agree with that. And in some cases, I don't think that's a bad thing, because there are a lot of albums you get out there which you put it on and you think, oh, that first song's good, and the second song is quite a bit like the first song, and they just hit a groove and you never get out of that. These people aren't afraid to try something new.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, it starts off, and I'm going to read this because it's the longest title. Starts off with the Ballad of Captain Bob and Good Ship Venus, which is kind of a goofy, psyche song with a lot of fuzz guitar, and then it goes straight into a 60s pop song, Love Illusions, which is kind of pleasant.
Yeah, it was nice.
But it did get a little much with, what was the, Does Your Head Need Straightening? That was weird.
It didn't really, it was neither here nor there for me. It was kind of just like, those were some choices you made there, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I found it was now this is probably my naivety of not being alive at this period of time, but it kind of just sounded like all music that you hear from generic 60s websites kind of thing. I almost felt like there was one specific episode of Clone High. This is the weirdest pull I think I will ever make, but they did a rock opera as if it was the 60s, and for some reason Jack Black was in it. It was wild, but it almost felt like some of the songs on this album would have been used as parody songs for that kind of thing. I have to admit also, this is another very weird pull. I believe it was called Four Leaf Clover. Yes, Four Leaf Clover. There is a riff in that song that reminded me so deeply of a specific Mario, Super Mario Brothers background song, that I had to play it for my dad. He could not hear it, but I swear to God, it sounded exactly like the Air Platform theme, which is just a very distinctive piano do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and it was the strangest thing because it was slowed down, but it was very much there. So it feels derivative, but it also came much before that. Yes. So points for uniqueness there, I'd say.
Yeah, and they do I think one cover. I'm not sure. I think there's one cover, and that's I Just Want to Make Love to You, which it's a weird choice to put in kind of a psyche pop album to do a blues song. And initially I thought, well, it's okay, but I did like the sax solo in it. It hits the sax, and I thought it's a different attack on that song that I haven't heard before.
I have not heard the original, and so going into it blind, I actually really enjoyed it. I knew it was a cover after I did a little looking, but I found that it was a nice, well put together pop song. The sax was very nice, and it was just lovely. It was just oh, this is easy to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, lots and lots of people have covered that song, and people have approached it different ways, and I didn't think this way was unique enough to have, except for when I liked it once it hit the sax. I thought, oh, that's different. I like that. Sure. I gave this album, I think I was being a little generous, maybe 6.5 to 6 3/4. I'm really winnowing it down fraction-wise.
That is, oh my goodness, we're gonna get to ninths, aren't we? I would agree with that. I think it's listenable for the most part. There are some places where it's really, does a song really need to be 7 minutes long? Yeah. I personally think that if you're gonna be over 5, you should really have a good reason.
Something epic-y to
yeah, is this going to be your Tommy? Are you going to do that?
Is this going to be your Captain Bob on the Good Ship Venus?
Yeah. I found that to be a little bit draining, just the fact that most of the songs were over 5 minutes. But other than that, I think it was still really nice. A little bit sort of exactly what you expect, but at the same time, with psychedelia especially, it's never exactly what you expect because it's always going in different places.
The hallmark of psychedelia theoretically is, it can be experimental, it can be anywhere other than, the ubiquitous fuzz guitars, which seem to be one of the things people love in psychedelia. I think all bets are off for what else happens. You have people walking footsteps in there and people saying goofy things. And
starts out with a birthday party too. It's just like
I don't know who Debbie is, but she's a very lucky girl.
Apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cover now.
I have
I think
a
we're gonna
soft
disagree on
spot.
this.
I think it's so lame and I love it. It feels just so very much I know there was a lot of production value put into this, and it really doesn't look like it. And it hits that middle mark for me where it's bad enough that it's good. I love the fact that they've taken cloud images and cut out generic cloud shapes from it. I love that they've got flower power going on in the bottom, and they're like, hey, here we are, we're rainbow, and we're obviously about to make it big, much like the Beatles. All of it, especially their looks. It's how much more late 60s can you get?
It is, in ways, there's almost a slight cheesy Christian band from that era. There's a bit of that in there. There's those colors that are a little overdone, and but they look very clean. A lot of the psych bands of the day were, a little grungier looking than these guys, and the rainbow at the top seems so cheery.
Yeah. I like the logo, though. I think it's a well-designed logo.
I like the logo. I gave this a 6. Just because, it's a very different kind of site cover, because most site covers go a little more serious than this. This seems to be a little good-timey.
To be fair, I think that's really representative of the album.
Probably.
They dive enough into pop, I think they can get away with it. I would say a 7.
A 7? So I gave it a 6, but I can see your point. I can really see your point there. So not a huge discrepancy in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. We've got, what was the I was 6.5 to 6 3/4.
I was about 6.5 on the album and 7 on the cover.
So join us next time. Grace and I shall be going at it again on another album.
Okay.